Alright, in this video I'm going to try and make the fastest and simplest multiplayer game that I can possibly make. We're going to start with a simple drop-in and drop-out multiplayer launcher using the Photon Unity networking, and then we're going to end up with some player movement as well. So I'll start by making a standard 3D core project. I'm going to call mine simplest multiplayer, and then I'm going to create this project and wait for that to launch up. So first up, you want to head off to a browser and go to the Unity3d asset store. We're going to be using Photon Unity networking. So just do a quick search inside the asset store for Pun. You're looking for the free version because there's the paid one and the free one, but the free one is very, very generous and great for beginners to get you up and running. So once you've done that, make sure that you're signed in and then add that to your assets. I'm already signed in, so it just says open in Unity for me, but you want to add that so that you're able to use it in the project. When you've done that, just open up your project again. Let's go straight to the package manager now and find that asset that we've just added. So you'd use the drop down here from Packages Unity Registry and change it to My Assets. Go to the Pun2 free, which should appear now. You'll need to download yours, and I've already downloaded mine, so I'm just going to import. One important thing that I've found is you want to kind of get rid of some of the bloat that's in there. So if you just search for this Photon Unity networking one, and then you'll see there's a demos folder that contains all of the demos. You're welcome to use them if you want to for learning, but for this project, we're just going to get rid of them to remove all of the extra stuff. There's a ton of stuff in there that we can do without for now for this simple tutorial. So hit import and wait for that to finish. When it's done, the Pun wizard, the Pun setup wizard will pop up and it'll be looking for our Pun ID. So we'll need to go and get that. Every app that you make is part of the Photon Engine dashboard that you'll need to sign into. So go to Photon Engine. I just did a quick Google search for Photon Engine. It's actually photonengine.com, and you'll need to sign in. If you're not already signed in, you don't already have an account, you'll need to create one right here and then just sign into that account. Once you're there, it should look a bit like this. You're going to create yourself a brand new app. We're going to change the type to Photon Pun because that's what we've got. And then we're going to give our application a name. And I'm just going to call mine Simplest Multiplayer, just like the tutorial. And then we get ready to create that app. When it's done, you just want to scroll down to find what the app ID is. So find my app that I've just made, click on that ID, Control-C to copy, and we'll paste that across into our app ID inside of Unity. So back into Unity, and we have our app ID. We just paste that one in there, click Setup Project, and then we can close all this other stuff down so that we're ready to start using the Photon Unity network inside of our new app. So we're back in here, we're ready to go. I'm going to make a brand new scene that's going to be our game. So I'm just making a basic built-in scene. I'm going to save that scene in the scenes folder as game. And then we're going to create a couple of items that we need to get this scene networked. So I'm in my new scene here, I'm going to make a brand new empty game object in here. This empty game object is going to be called Launcher. I'm also going to want to create a brand new folder for all my scripts, so an empty folder, and I'm going to create a new script in here which will also be called Launcher, and I'm going to add that Launcher script onto that Launcher game object, and this is just going to sit there and do all of the network connection for us. So let's just open this up and get ready to start coding. So the first thing we'll want to do is just add this using that we need for using Photon. So we'll use photon.pun. Then go down into the start method. We need to change mono behavior as well into mono behavior pun callback, so we get access to all of the pun callbacks for trying to connect and when we connect. And the next thing inside of start is just that Photon network, that singleton, and we want to just connect using settings. So this is just the default settings that connects to the app that we've told it to when we set up the wizard. I'm keeping this as simple as possible, so just a quick comment that will help remind us what we're doing. So I'm trying to connect. We want to delete the update, and we're just going to go on to these overrides. So if we're successfully connected, what we'll end up getting a callback will be an on connected to master. So if we successfully connect to the app that we're trying to connect to, then we will Pun will run on connected to master. Let's just put out a message. So I'll debug.log connected to master, just so we know that that actually happens. When we're actually connected, all we really want to do is to join a random room. And Photon, the Photon network singleton, has a spectacular function which is called join random or create room. This will literally do what it says. It'll try and join a room if it already exists, otherwise it will create one, so there's no need to stuff around with checking or seeing if anything happens. It's a really simple way of getting multiplayer up and running. And once we've joined the room, we'll get the callback for on joined room. So we'll just want to do the override and then look for on joined room. We'll just check that this actually works right now, so rather before we do anything else. So we'll just do a quick debug.log and we'll just say that we're joined the room and give that message out to the console. And then we want to just test that to make sure that everything actually works. So if we just hit play inside of Unity, once that's all compiled, we should look down on the console down here and just make sure that we get both those messages connecting and joining our room. The next step would be to make the player. So let's just create an empty game object for that player. I'm going to call this one player. I'm just going to add a rubbishy 3D cube to this for now. You could obviously use something a bit better than that, but we'll leave it at that. And the next important step is making sure that we add the Photon view to this. So if you find so add component and choose Photon and then Photon view, that's needed to be a networked object. You then need to put it in a resources folder. It's just the rules. So you create a brand new folder and called resources with a capital R, and then you create the prefab, the player prefab inside that resources folder. And Photon Unity networking needs that in order to find it. Then we can delete it from the scene because we're going to be spawning it in anyway. So just let's go to that script again, because we need to add that prefab in so the launcher knows what to spawn in. So we're going to make a public Photon view game object, and we're going to call this player prefab, and this is what we're going to actually spawn in. If you go down to the onJoined room, we want to spawn it in once we've joined the room. So we use Photon network.instantiate, and then we can use player prefab. We need to reference it, however, by name. So it's player prefab.name, and then we're going to need a position and a rotation. So I'm just going to use Vector3d's Vector30 and quaternion.identity for the middle of the world. And don't forget to make sure you go back and assign that player prefab. So drag that into that new slot, that player prefab slot. It should work. And if you test this now, once you've connected and you've joined, so we watch those messages, you'll see that the player prefab spawns in, which is exactly what we're after. But how do we know that it's actually networked? Well, let's build out a second client. So if you go to File and Build Settings, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change the window. So I'm going to add this open scene, but I'm going to go into Player Settings to change the window size, because otherwise it takes up full screen by default, which is terrible. So we want to make it windowed. I'm going to change this to a nice tiny window, like 640 by 640 by 480, which is a nice small window that'll appear hopefully when it builds out. And then we want to just do a build. So we could do a build and run, but it'll only create one window. So I'm just going to make a brand new folder. I'm going to click on build and make a new folder called build. And then I'm just going to select that folder and build that one out. It'll take a few seconds, and when it's ready, you'll have the double click on the actual exe and allow access, and you'll have your 640 by 480 window with your game running in it. That's pretty cool so far. We've got the game in here. And then if you run the second editor window as well, so if you run the editor window as well, what you'll see is that you've got two of the players, so one for each connection is in your scene, which is exactly what we're after for multiplayer. So we want to get our player moving around so we can actually see it. So I'm just going to quickly create myself a player script. I'm going to call this player, and I'm going to go and add that to the player. And then we're going to just take a quick look at it. And I'm just going to do this real fast. I'm going to do a really simple one. So we're going to use the photon.pun again, and we're going to change this mono behavior to mono behavior pun callbacks, which gives us access to the Photon view. We're going to need that so we know if we're actually this client or whether we're the connected clone. The way you do that, so we only want to move if the Photon view is ours. So if you say if Photon view is mine, this means that we're just the local client and we're not the connected client. And then we want to do some simple, silly code. So I'm going to create a float variable called x and get the horizontal axis and multiply that by 10. I'm going to get a y variable, and again, this is going to be from this time it'll be from the vertical axis, and I'm going to multiply that by 10, and I'm just going to use transform.translate to move it around by the x and the 0 and the y, and then the z value. I think I need to multiply this by time.delta time as well, so just so that we don't have any frame issues with it going too fast. So that should be it. That's the simple player script. All that's left to do is to make sure it's got the Photon view, transform view, on. So if you just look for Photon network and the Photon transform view classic, and that will just synchronize its position and rotation across the network. So if we just make sure that we've ticked synchronize position and synchronize rotation in that component, then we should be ready to test this to make sure that it works. I'm just going to go up to build and run this time. So up to the file and then build and run. And because I've already done this once before, it'll just, it knows where to build it and run it from. So make sure that you've done that. If you get this, what you'll get is just a simple one instance of the game. So we're connected and we can move around. If I click on the main editor now, we can also see that once it's connected, our second player spawns in and the other one is synchronized. The position is synchronized. So I can move this one around, this one in the editor. And if I jump to the other clone, you can see them moving around. So that's synchronizing position and rotation across the network using a simple drop in and drop out style of network launcher. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. It's been as fast as I can make it, and hopefully we can build on this series in the later videos. So please, if you did like this and you like the format, then like and subscribe and leave some comments on what you'd like to see me do next.